up, YouTube? What's the word, man? This is the Needed Podcast, episode 46. 46 weeks y'all been rocking with me, man, and I appreciate you guys. As you see over there, the topics, man, we got the cap raising. That's our number one topic. It's been pretty much the only thing people have been talking about since the classic is what is the cap going to be. The next mode is salary cap. The next mode is club series. So it's important to understand what the cap's going to be, and I think we can all agree the most important thing is just uh make it consistent and make it happen soon. You know, don't keep it at 775 and then change it 3 days before there's an event, 3 days before there's a tournament. I think we can all agree that that's ultimately the biggest deal and the biggest thing that we want changed, honestly. So, and as you guys have seen, we also want to talk about all the things that happened on Twitch over the weekend as far as Madden's concerned, which is great for Madden. Whether it's involved you, whether it's involved me, whether it's involved Tifu, whoever it may be, whoever it's involving in that what happened this weekend is all good for Madden, and I think that's going to be a good thing. We'll talk about that, and I'm excited. The first week of the NFL. So I'm going to bring back what would a Madden player do. Give you examples of real football and how it correlates to Madden and what the differences are. And the Saints and the Texans gave us pretty much the easiest thing to talk about as far as that's concerned last week. I think that was the most cut and dry, easiest example of what a Madden player would do as opposed to what Bill O'Brien and his defensive coaching staff decided to do. As you see, Joke is in the chat now, and Joke has pretty much been the main component or the main antagonist in the raising the cap situation towards EA. It got so far to the point where he got his little niece and nephew to say raise the cap. And for me, I haven't played too much salary cap, just against my friends and just seeing what the lineups can do and just seeing the different values of the cards. Understand how the game plays and what's the best thing about the game. So for me, before I start, I like the cap where it is. I think the abilities are something that make the game. I don't want to I don't want to say the abilities shorten the skill gap. I think we can agree that the game is about abilities. The abilities are overpowering. I mean, you can have, and this is the example that used all year is that Clowney's a great player, JJ Watt's a great player, but JJ Watt has the ability. Clowney does not. So you can see a difference when you play against them as far as pass rush. Clowney's good, but JJ Watt stands out. He stands out. So for me, obviously, if you don't have the X, you're just going to be another player. So for me, I think the less abilities, the more it's more about Madden, me versus you. You know, there's more things in my control. You know, especially with the running back abilities, and that's pretty much what our conversation is going to focus around is the running back abilities. I mean, these dudes are a lot of cap. These dudes, and your team should suffer because of that. But without further ado, I will bring Joke on here because there's not that many people that I mean you really like. I don't not take serious, but like really consider their opinion and agree with. You can all agree that they know what they're talking about. They understand the game. They understand how it works and what could be best for it, really. And Joke is one of those people. I will tell you, Joke is a pretty shitty follow on Twitter. I mean, this year it's either been complaining, which is Joke's entire Twitter career has pretty much been complaining about something. But this year, not only is he complaining, he's advertising. So his Twitter follow is just a complaint and then an advertisement. That's pretty much it. But without any ado, I will pull Joke in here. Pause. But he's not in the Discord anymore. And hear what he has to say about these abilities. You know, because for me, if it was up to me, I know this is stupid and it's not Madden 20. I'd be cool if there were no abilities. You know, I'd be cool with that. You know, so for me, salary cap kind of removes the abilities. You.
What's up?
Oh, what's the word? Oh, now he disappeared again.
To say some things for me.
All right. First of all, Joke is
Yeah,
here.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you good. Are you
Hey,
on the
look.
phone? What are you on?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. Hold on. Hey, my niece got something to say. Hey, Brianna, make sure you tell them raise the cap. Go ahead, tell them. Come on, raise the cap. Raise the cap. There you go. That's how we're starting it. Thank you, Brianna.
Oh my gosh.
See, my niece and nephew, they love Pokemon. And if there's not enough cap, they can't play Pokemon. That's something they don't like.
Yeah, but see, you say that the Pokemon, that's what the game is. That's
Wait,
what the
so
game is
hold on,
doing.
Dubby. Before we start this, how many games of salary cap have you actually played?
About 8.
And how many games have you actually watched?
Watch. I haven't watched. Who watched play? I watched Problem play Bam last night.
So you've watched or played 9 games of salary cap.
Yep.
Did you watch or play against Max Bo Jackson with Bruiser?
Only in Mutt, and he's a beast on
Okay, so
Mutt. So I can
in
imagine.
Mutt, can you stop him in Mutt
Yes.
if you don't have Pat Tillman on the team?
I don't have Pat Tillman. I don't have that card.
Okay, well, another question. Your salary cap team, what is your fastest DB?
My salary cap roster. Let me take a look at my salary cap roster. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's take a look. Fastest DB on my team. I'm still a Pat Pete Ramsey man, but it's probably McCourty or Amos. I believe
And they're what,
McCourty has
88 speed
89.
with
Yeah.
sprinter?
What's the McCourty? McCourty's 89. Yeah, you're right. He's 89 speed.
Okay, so 89 speed, and you have no abilities, right?
But it's my question. But who's the fastest DB in the game of any
Well,
card?
but what I'm saying is to stop people like Bo Jackson, you're going to need Pat Tillman. You're going to need maxed out
That's one. We're talking about one
Ken
player. Is
Houston.
Tillman. Ken Houston's not
But
not fast enough. He's the same speed as these
he's
dudes.
but he's got 90 hit power.
Okay, I mean, I think what you're complaining is that there's really nobody that stops Bo Jackson
So,
unless you talk
so
about
that,
Tillman.
that,
Like,
that, that
let's.
that's what I'm saying is if you're playing anyone who knows what they're doing right now in salary cap, they're having a 24 cap Brady and they're having a Bo Jackson with Bruiser, and no matter what you do on defense, whether you spend cap on chems, whether you don't, your team regardless isn't going to be good enough to stop Bo Jackson. So then let's say if you go your route and you don't have a Bo Jackson with Bruiser, now you're on a disadvantage on offense and you're still at a disadvantage on defense. If the cap raises to, in my opinion, it should be raised to minimum 900. Now you're going to be able to have better players on defense. So the fact that any good player who doesn't think the cap should raise either A, wants to run the ball every single play, or B, just hasn't played the game enough. Because I've already seen what I needed to see. It is impossible to have a team that is decent with any ability. You can have any ability. If it's at least 30 cap, your team is going to be terrible. I've made teams personally with 900, and I had 2 abilities, and my team was decent. The team is not even close to a Mutt team. I've played like maybe 60 games of Mutt this week. It's not even close to that. I still had bad ends. I had decent linebackers. Yeah, I had good safeties and I had a good running back, but the team is not even close to a Mutt team. So 900 cap, like the people saying like, "Oh, 900 cap is a Mutt team." That shit is outrageous. It's not even close to a Mutt team.
I will agree that it's never going to be close to a Mutt team. I agree with that. I personally feel like I don't have any abilities on my team, and I mean that's probably stupid, but I feel like my defense is good, really fucking good. You
So
know.
what does your defense consist of? Who are your players?
All
What
right.
are your
Well, this is
DBs?
my team.
Well,
It's on the
actually,
screen now.
no, no. Most importantly, when you run 3-4, who are your linebackers?
Shazier and Willis, power up Willis.
Okay, so the best ones, right?
Yeah, the best I can get. Then my outside
Okay.
guys are Mac and Clowney power ups, 24 cap each.
Okay, that's
Then I
that's
got
fine.
Fletcher Cox at D tackle, full Fletcher
Okay.
Cox. My ends would be shit because in this lineup now I've been thinking I'm going to design my defense completely 4-3-4 because if
Which
someone's
is smart.
passing,
I
yeah, if
agree.
someone's passing, I'm just going to put 10 caps out there. But this team that I
Yeah,
have on
it's
the
it,
screen is actually I have 6 DBs with those linebackers. I have
and who are your DBs?
Amos, Blunt, Pat Pete, Ramsey, Tillman, and Jason McCourty, Charles Tillman, not the real Tillman. So I have 6 really good DBs, and I have the two best linebackers. I have Fletcher Cox, and my outside linebackers are power ups, but they're Mack and Clowney.
Okay, so the defense is cool. I'm assuming on offense you have a bunch of gold receivers.
No, I have four good receivers, and
Who?
well,
What are
my
good
Steve Young.
receivers?
I have Marvin Harrison, Odell Beckham, Tyreek Hill, and Deshaun Jackson power ups.
So Deshaun Jackson's 33 cap, and no, Deshaun's 38 and Hill's
37,
33. And who's your running back?
Tevin Coleman.
And how much cap is he?
26.
Okay, so you have two bad receivers, a bad running back.
I don't have
I'm
any.
assuming
Where's
you're
a bad receiver?
well. Tyreek Hill is a value receiver. He's a value cap. It's not like you can have the best player anywhere. Would you say you have the best player in any position on your team?
Middle linebacker.
Okay, so you have two out of your 22 players that are going
I
to
feel
play
like I
are
feel
the
like
best
Marvin
players.
Harrison, Odell Beckham. I mean, dude, what better receivers are you getting than those guys?
Well, which Marvin Harrison do you have?
The
Odell
best
Beckham, I
Marvin
can name
Harrison.
like four. There's
How,
like four receivers better than Odell.
who?
Torrey Holt.
Or Holt? Yeah, Holt, and they're the same. They're the same cat, pretty much.
Also, you have the Max Odell.
Yeah,
Okay, so
Max
your team is
Odell.
cool, and that's no abilities
That's
at
no
all.
abilities.
Okay, at all. So now what happens when you play against Bruiser Bo Jackson, and every time you try to tackle him, since you can't have enforcer because you don't have enough cap, you just get trucked or armbarred every single play because nobody you have is ever going to try to tackle him.
All right, well,
And
that's what
if
I'm
you
saying,
try to
Joe. Well,
do,
then who the fuck can I get?
well,
Tillman?
that's
Pat
what I'm.
Tillman?
Okay,
There's nobody I can
well,
get. That's the game. It's not salary cap.
and that's what I'm saying. If the cap was to be raised 125, now you can get players on defense to stop that. You can
Like
get Pat
who?
Tillman with enforcer. Pat Tillman with enforcer. You can get
Okay, well, okay, I can have Pat Tillman. So that's pretty much what I can get.
no with 125 cap. You can get Pat Tillman with enforcer. You can add enforcer to Pat Willis, and you can add run stopper to Fletcher Cox.
But I feel like honestly, if I got rid of these dudes, put 10 caps here, my defense would be even better. If I got rid of these
Where are you going
DBs
to
and
put the
put
10
10
caps?
caps, my two
No,
slot DBs.
if you put 10 caps anywhere this year, they are like they literally don't do anything. Like they don't do anything. Zones are already terrible. When you have 40 zone, they don't do nothing. If you have an 81 speed cornerback, they don't even come free on the blitz. They don't tackle. So if you have like I have a tight end apprentice. If I was to tell you my team, that my team is a joke, I have to have middle linebackers who are like 83 speed. So
Well,
it's like
but that's what
pointless
I'm
having
saying
them.
because you need Pokemon. Me, I
So
said I don't want
that
Pokemon. Then my team is pretty much. I feel like my team is strong
so
in
then
every spot.
So then now you're saying the game is made to play with abilities. That's the slogan EA is putting out. Make superstars feel like make players feel like superstars. Like what you just said. When you play with the Texans, JJ Watt is
A superstar.
remarkably better
Oh
than
yeah.
Clowney, and it's because of the abilities. If you don't have abilities, every player plays the same. I don't like that. I like when a player stands out. Like when I play Mutt and I see Pat Tillman being way better than everybody else, that's what it should be like.
Well,
Like I should be able to have enough
see,
cap to have superstar players. In
well you
salary cap right now, you have a whole bunch of decent players trying to tackle one really good player. And that's what it's going to be. Every single brain dead person is going to have Bo Jackson maxed out with Bruiser, and there's nothing you can do to tackle him because you'll never have enough cap to have fucking enforcer or have anyone that's going to be fast enough to tackle him. And that's literally what everyone does. They just run the ball with Bo Jackson. Your fastest player on defense is 89 speed. He's outrunning him. And if you catch him, he's trucking you and armbarring you, and they're going to score.
yeah, but that's. I mean, I feel like there's very little things I can do about that. I feel like
No,
your
if you had
conversation.
125 more cap, there's so much you could add enforcer to Pat Willis. You could upgrade your safeties to Ken Houston and Pat Tillman, and add enforcer to Pat Tillman. And now you have three guys on your team who can tackle, which are the most important positions to tackle, which is your middle linebackers and your safeties.
All
And
right.
if the cap doesn't raise, literally it's going to be regs all over again, and it's going to be way worse
I feel
because now you're going to see people running with a better running back because Bo Jackson is better than Zeke was, who can stiff arm and truck. And then now you don't even have fast players to like track that guy down. He's just going to be scoring wide open touchdowns every other play.
I feel like I can put. I feel like me personally, if I knew okay, I'm about to play a runner, I could put the best defense I could put out here in the game and still be cool. That's how I feel.
But that's what you can't do that when you lock in the lineup for club series. It's one lineup. You can't switch it.
Oh, understood. But I mean, but my point is, if that's what I was worried about, it seems like your whole reason for raising cap is to stop Bo Jackson, right?
What? No, the whole thing is that one, if you make a team to stop Bo Jackson, then you're at a disadvantage because you have terrible receivers. So I have to use like my team. I have a tight end apprentice, and I have Pat Tillman with enforcer, obviously, and I have two gold receivers. I have a 24 cap quarterback. My ends are 13 cap. My middle linebackers are 32 cap. My other safety is absolutely terrible. My outside corners are Lattimore and Ward. So it's like if you want to use an ability to prevent people from playing brain dead, your team has to be completely terrible. I feel like in a competitive mode where salary cap usually is the mode where people have the highest skill cap, the more cap people have to showcase that, the better. So the fact that anyone wouldn't want the cap to raise, it just baffles me because The more cap, the better players, the more
So by
control
that
you have over
argument,
the outcome of the
so
game.
by that argument, then Mutt would have a bigger skill gap than a salary cap.
Yes, I would. If you told me would I rather play salary cap or ultimate full MUT, I would say full MUT 100% of the times.
I mean, listen, I'm not going. That's a whole different argument. Now, I'm not really going to disagree with that, but because I haven't even really thought about that. But I honestly feel like less ability is the better game is. Now, I feel like you need offensive abilities, so your defense is going to be way fucking worse than mine. Because I don't need none of that shit. You agree?
But I agree. But your defense still isn't good enough.
But I don't think there's anything I can fucking put
It's
out
like, all
here
right, this
that could
is
be
what I'm saying.
better.
So Mo just tweeted. Mo obviously doesn't want the cap to go down because Mo wants to run the ball every single play, and Mo doesn't want to have to think on offense. People
Okay.
like Mo are the people who want the cap to not be raised because Mo wants to be able to run the ball every single play. 3rd and 18, he wants to be able to run the ball with fucking Bo Jackson, stiff arm or truck the first guy and score a touchdown. Those are the people that don't want the cap to be raised because they want to play brain dead. And that's what I don't want to play against. I don't want to play against somebody who plays brain dead and just runs the ball every single play, and I can't do anything about it because I don't have enough good players to stop it.
I feel like, but see, I ultimately I feel like, and you can agree with this. Individually, it depends on what somebody runs and what they feel like they need help with. Now, me myself, like I said, I don't have any abilities on. I would love abilities, but I feel like I can have the best defense in MUT. I feel like I can have that. It's 3-4. I can have the highest Willis. I can have Shazier. I could definitely put Ken Houston out here. I could do all that. But to your point, I don't think it's going to help me that much. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't need
Well,
the cap
I
to be
personally
raised.
think this game needs to be played with abilities. That's the way that the game needs to be played because, again, the abilities make every player so much better. So, like, people who use the Cowboys in regs, they use them because Zeke had armbar. I used the Eagles because they had nasty streak and they had the double me and all the other abilities. So like I feel like this game needs to be played with abilities, and that's why EA put the abilities in the game. So now if you make the cap 775, you're basically telling people we can't use abilities. So their slogan wouldn't make sense because the game is meant to be played with abilities. That's why they implemented it in the game because they want players with similar stats to feel better than the other players because they have abilities.
I mean, listen. I guess, listen. I feel like this. How I feel. If you're gonna have Bo Jackson, who costs probably fucking half as much as he should cost, I feel like we could agree on that. He should
Oh,
be.
for
Yeah,
sure.
okay, yeah. But if you're gonna have these abilities, if you're gonna have fast break, if you're gonna have escape artists, your team should be ass somewhere. And then me myself, if I don't want to have them abilities, I feel like I should have this tough ass defense. That's how I feel.
Well, I still feel like your defense isn't a tough ass defense. Like
Oh,
I would say
So
the Cowboys the Cowboys team in regs is better than your defense.
I mean, this is my point. I don't know how much better of a defense I could really put out. Obviously, I could have enforcer. I don't have enough
No,
points for Patrick Willis.
your defense could get 10 times better by just having a different D tackle that can get power specialist. That makes your defense 10 times better.
I mean, I understand. I just feel like, to
And
me, I feel like
so like what I'm saying is why wouldn't somebody want the cap to be raised so your players can play better and then you don't have to lose against Bo Jackson with Bruiser because you're going to be able to put better players out there. And then
yeah.
you're still going to be able to play to your strengths. Like I'm sure you would prefer having escape artists because escape artist makes you a better Madden player. It makes your offense more difficult to stop. So I would rather have to play against better people with better players and have more control over what happens over the game than have a bunch of bad players trying to tackle the fucking 92 speed guy who is untackable unless you got Pat Tillman.
I mean, for me personally, I mean, I feel like the defense can't really be that much better. Like you said, you could have. I would love to have Patrick Willis, and I would love to have Pat Tillman. One, I don't think I'll ever
I
have Pat
honestly,
Tillman.
in my opinion, the only really good players on your team are the two middle linebackers, which those are like the best guys you could have. Other than that, I would say you have 9 value players on defense.
Well, right now I got Dawkins on the screen. I got Dawkins, Ken Houston, Willis, Von Miller, Lawrence Taylor. No abilities though. But I mean, if somebody's
And
just gonna run the ball, I mean, shit.
but what are they going to do? Like they don't have any abilities. Just like you'll need run stopper, or you'll need enforcer, or you'll need tackle supreme. Like those guys are
Okay,
just going to get trucked like everyone
okay.
else.
Well, so let me go. All right. Well, then now let me go back to my 20 cap outside linebackers. Let me get Patrick Willis with enforcer, and let me get a run stopper.
Yeah, and you'd have to do that, and then your team
And
is
I
going
can
to be
still
terrible
fit all
everywhere
that in
else.
my. How would it be terrible?
How is you have? Who's your quarterback?
Well, I don't know who my quarterback is because Steve Young is out there. I gotta put another. I don't know, a 40 cap, a 44 cap, a 50
So
cap.
that's I feel like people just like want to be able to play with like a whole bunch of decent players everywhere. Like I would prefer a whole bunch of good players and then decent players instead of just a whole bunch of good players and terrible players. Every single lineup I see, they have Brandon King, they have Rashard Cleat, then they have two terrible ends. So that's already 4 out of your 11 players on defense are completely terrible. Your the safeties, the ones I've been seeing is Will fucking Harris is 27 cap, and if they were to be able to run a stat of competitive players with the highest like percentage of players used, Will Harris is in that percentage for sure because he's got
Yeah.
80 hit power and he's 27 cap. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone is gonna the way people play salary cap is always the same. Everyone's gonna have all the abilities on offense. They're gonna have escape artist. They're gonna have slide apprentice, tight end apprentice, hot route master, bruiser, jukebox, evasive, and the defense is always going to be terrible. So if you don't have good enough players to stop that, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage because you don't have abilities and they do. I just want to be able to have 2 to 3 abilities and a decent team around it. I'm not asking for Mutt. 900 cap is not even close to Mutt. A Mutt team would be maybe 1500 cap, maybe.
No, my team is about 3,000.
Yeah, so like people comparing 900 cap to Mutt, like that shit is literally outrageous. It's not even in the same realm. Like it's not even close.
I mean, it's definitely not close. I feel like Mutt. I would
And
like
if you
Mutt
had
if it was on
900
my
cap,
Madden.
you still wouldn't be able to have 6 abilities. You're gonna have 2 to 3 abilities, and you're gonna have decent players. Yeah, you're gonna have some really good players where they're most needed, which is what I think salary cap should be. You should prioritize your most important players. So for like me, defense and linebackers would be the most what I would prioritize, and then I would still be able to have decent players. I wouldn't have the best cornerbacks. I'd have decent ones. I wouldn't have the best outside linebackers or ends, but I'd have decent ones. I'd have 25 cap instead of 13 cap, and that's going to give players more control over what happens over the game instead of having a 79 speed outside linebacker who just has no chance to ever tackle Bo Jackson.
I don't know, man. So
I feel like people who, if anyone has like, you probably haven't played maxed out Bo Jackson with somebody who has no thumbs or a brain using them. When you start playing against that every single game, which I have seen and I've played against, you start realizing like, holy fuck, the cap really needs to be raised. And anyone like AKG the other day was in the same like streets, like, oh, the cap shouldn't be raised. He played a brain dead dude who was using Bo Jackson a bruiser, and then he was like, holy fuck, what do I do? You try to make a team to stop that, and you can't because then your offense is the
I'll
worst
tell you
offense
this.
ever.
I will tell you this right now. If this fucking team I have on the screen cannot stop Bo Jackson, then what the then I don't want to play the fucking game no more. It's
Well,
simple as
no,
that.
you would need to have you would have to have Pat Willis with enforcer, Pat Tillman with enforcer, and you would have to have the maxed out Ken Houston. That team is not going to do anything to Bo Jackson. A, Bo Jackson's faster than every single player on your defense,
He's faster
and
than
B,
every single
none of
player
the
in the game. Let's
well, Pat
remember
Tillman is
that.
the
Oh,
same speed.
I don't know what Tillman is. I don't have Pat Tillman. I don't know if I ever had Pat Tillman.
That like Pat Tillman is the same speed. Not even that. You'd have guys closer. Like your fastest guy is 89 speed, and it's McCourty. You're talking about Jason McCourty, right? What's he got? 50 tackle.
No, I got rid of him. We got rid of
So
him.
who are your outside corners,
Ramsey and Pat Pete,
and how fast are they?
86 speed.
So what are they going to do when Bo Jackson gets to the corner and outruns them? Nothing.
I mean, what fucking player can I put out there to stop that joke?
You could have 39 cap Seahorn instead of those guys. Seahorn's 89 speed and he's got a little bit of tackle.
I mean, come on, man. I got.
And if the cap
I have
increases,
enough cap to get. All right. Look, I'll get Seahorn. Let's go put Tillman out here. Let's get rid of these guys.
bro, look, the perfect team to stop the Bo Jackson would be maxed out Ken Houston, maxed out Tillman, maxed out probably Seahorn or I don't know what Willie Brown's tackle is. I know he's got 70 hit power. So anybody with over 70 hit power and 70 tackle is probably what you want to have a chance against Max Bo. And with the cap being 775, you're never going to have that unless everything else just completely sucks. It's like you either have 3 good DBs and shitty linebackers or you have good linebackers and decent DBs. There's like no medium. Like you need to have decent players and superstars instead of just having superstars and the worst players you could possibly have.
All right. So we're talking about Pat Willis and Pat Tillman. You have to have those guys.
Yes, needed.
I mean, listen. I don't know how much cap them fucking dudes are, but if I needed
Pat
to, I'd
Tillman's
put them in there.
55.
55.
And Enforcer is 30, so no 35. So he's going to be 80 to 90 cap.
I agree, and this is something that I thought about salary cap last year. I feel like defensive shit should be so much cheaper than offensive shit.
And if that was the case, if the defense was lower, it would be more balanced. But if obviously it's not, like fucking Pat Tillman's 55 cap, Bo Jackson's 59. Bo Jackson can run the ball every single play. Pat Tillman can't make an impact on defense every single play.
I agree. I agree with that. I really think defensive players should be, and this is the other thing with offensive players. You only need 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
else,
another thing too. Right?
defensive players,
So
you
like
need
if
11.
the cap on the good players on defense was lowered, then I wouldn't say the cap needs to be raised by 900, 125. I would say like maybe 25 if the cap for the defensive players was lowered. But if the cap just remains the same and the cap for the abilities remains the same, I wholeheartedly believe the minimum it should be raised to is 900.
I mean, even, dude, that shit is. I don't. This is how I feel, chat. If this fucking team on my screen cannot stop a fucking run, then it's the game. It don't got shit to do with salary cap. Then I tell you what, if literally if this team can't stop it, Lord Jesus, y'all got it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the first guy that comes to him is getting trucked. The next guy is getting armbarred, and you don't even have a chance of catching him because the bitch is 92 speed.
So like, I have no other like.
And that's the issue. Like
That's
if you
the
have
game.
900 cap, no, if you have 900 cap, you can put better players out there.
I can get one if I can get Pat Tillman.
Yeah, Pat
and what
Tillman.
happens if he gets blocked? I lost.
Oh well, you got to user him and make sure you don't get blocked. If I got Pat Tillman, I'm somebody's not running for 150 yards. If I got Pat Tillman, I'm not kidding. If there was a tournament tomorrow, the way I would construct my team is the first player I'm putting on offense is Bo Jackson with Bruiser. The second player I'm putting on defense is Pat Tillman with Enforcer, and then everyone else is just gonna have to suck because that's the only chance you have at tackling Bo Jackson is the one player in the game who can tackle him for sure. I mean, unless you put Pat Willis with Enforcer, but the way I play defense, the middle linebacker isn't always going to be in a position to make a play.
I mean, I just feel like the game is ass if this is the case.
And you must have not played against Bo Jackson or seen what that dude does to salary cap teams. But what Zeke was doing to Regs teams, and all those DBs are 93 speed, they all got better tackle. He was doing that to Regs teams. Imagine what a better running back who's faster than Zeke is going to do to silvers and golds on fucking salary cap.
I mean, I feel like my guys going to fight. I'm about to go.
And it's like last year, everyone did the same thing, right? Last year, everyone put all the cap on offense, and on defense had no cap. The same thing is going to happen this year. Like, there's going to be a fucking maniac who has Escape Artist and Bo Jackson with Bruiser, and you're never going to have a chance to stop him. Now, if he gets one stop with his silvers, he wins.
All right. Well, first of all let Kiv want to talk, and I see Kiv is on the joke level of people that I listen to, so I'll talk to Kiv. Mr. Shea, how are you doing? How are you feeling today? What is your opinion on this cap matter?
Yo, what's good?
You sound like you just woke up. Is this the sleep schedule right now? Jesus Christ.
This is the sleep schedule.
Oh my God. So what's the word? How do you feel about the cap, man?
I agree that it needs to be raised because as of right now, you're basically playing with no abilities. Yeah. Like you can fit basically one ability right now, and when you do play people with Bo and Bruiser and shit, you really have no chance on defense without any abilities on defense because the game honestly is so bad that the players without abilities just play like shit. Like literally.
Regardless of their ratings.
Yeah, regardless of the ratings, like they'll block shed a little bit more with the better players. They'll make the tackle like maybe fucking 10% more than like someone else. That's bad, but the game is so bad that you need abilities. So what I think is they either need to up the cap like 50 to 75. 100 would be like pushing it for me because right now with 775 you can make like a really good team with no abilities. In my opinion, and then that gives you 75 to 100 of cap that you can spend on abilities and have like either one on offense, one on defense, two on defense, none on offense, two on offense, none on defense. But then you're sacrificing a lot with raising the cap to above 900. You can have a good team and then have like you could have, for example, like. enforcer, power specialist, and then like a running back chem with that. So I think it needs to be raised to like, or what they also could do too is they could raise the cap like 50, and then they take down the cap because a lot of the caps for certain abilities are way overpriced, like or way they're just too much cap, like tackle supreme, like those type of caps that
Shouldn't be
don't
high.
affect
I
the
agree
game. Yeah, they don't affect like
that much.
they counter the meta,
Yeah,
but they're only on one player. Like
I
that
agree.
cap, you can't even. It's like you can't even use a player with that because it's like 25 cap or something.
Yeah, I feel like
If they take
they
that
didn't
down to
know.
like 10 cap, you could have two players with like that
Yeah,
with on your
and I feel like
defense.
they didn't really know what the game was gonna be like when they made these cap numbers.
The
You
caps are
know.
really really high for all that stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like they didn't know exactly what the game was going to be like. How's it going to play? How good is Bo Jackson going to be? How much cap should some of this stuff be? For me, like we said, Bo Jackson should be 150 cap. So I feel
Yeah,
if it's somebody that
him
does
being
that much
59
shit,
is way too low.
yeah, for somebody being
Yeah,
that much stuff, yeah,
running back caps are super low right now too.
What I think they should have done was any player who can get an ability that's OP, which is armbar, evasive, basically any ball carrier move. The cap for that player should already been significantly higher than a player who can't get those abilities. Just because those are the players everyone's going to use.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, they should end up evenly with the quarterback caps in my opinion. Like you see how Vic is like fucking 70 cap for just his player. Like there's no reason that the best Bo Jackson shouldn't be 70 cap as well.
yeah. I mean, like this is something I feel like has been in salary cap, especially last. I personally feel like the defensive players should be 60% of what their cap is. Like I'm looking at Ken Houston, he's 44. It'd be cool if he was 30. You know, I would like a game where all the defensive players are good and these offensive
Well,
Pokemons aren't that
I
tough.
think they tried to do that this year better than years before, but the those players, I'm telling you, they just won't make it that much of a difference because you have to have the X. The X is what makes the game, like literally.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
that's why I say the cap needs to be increased because like that those are the players that make a big impact in the game. If you don't have an X, you could honestly like if you had 100 hit power, 100 man, 100 zone, and another guy had 50 hit power, 50 man, 50 zone, but the man with 50 man has manned out, zoned out, and enforcer, that guy is 50 times better than the guy with 100 hit power.
So we're talking
Yeah.
about there's 2K with badges right now. That's
Yeah,
pretty much what we're
it's
No,
doing.
that's
literally
how
what
it
it is.
is.
Like
Yeah.
if your player doesn't have an X, he's not going to play to what his stats are. But if the player has an X, he's going to play 3 times to what his stats. So you need like the way the game plays to counter the meta, which is everyone just running the ball every play. You need to be able to have guys who have enforcer, tackle supreme, anything like that to counter that. And with the cap being 775, it's definitely way too low. And
Yeah,
if
the
they did
cat.
what Gibbs said, like if they hired at 50 and they lowered those caps, I'd be fine with that. But 775 with the way it is right now, like that's definitely the
Yes.
worst option.
775 is terrible. Like literally terrible.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
you're
It's
just
real.
playing base, and then when they have one something on offense, like escape or fucking running back, it's just like impossible. Literally, it
And then
makes
if you don't
all
use
the
it, you put
difference.
yourself at a disadvantage when you're playing offense.
Yeah,
yeah. That's how I
exactly.
feel on offense. I don't have no abilities. I just
This
have
is why, bro,
naked
I
ass Michael Vick.
said we should be just playing Mutt anyway, because Mutt is the most balanced with like how the game is. Like you have Mutt without depth is the most balanced because you have at your disposal everything to counter everything. Like you can have three players on defense that stop the run if you really want to stop the run or whatever. And then on offense you can have whatever you want. Like I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I,
Yeah, I'm at this point. I'm Team Mud as well. After playing Mud this whole past week, I'm Team Mud. Salary cap is probably the worst mode in the game right now. I would say it's like Mud, Regs, DC, salary cap, and it's sad because, in my opinion, salary cap used to be the best mode,
oh yeah,
but the last 2 years, the cap for salary cap has been so bad because again, the cap for the defensive players are just way too high.
yeah. I feel like if they adjusted the defensive cap, it'll be all right. You know, and made the offensive shit is way more powerful. All of them shits. I mean, even the
Yeah,
power
because you
specials
can
and
use it.
at your
It's just like
disposal.
armbar. Armbar is 35, right? You can use armbar on every single play. Enforcer is you have one player, and it's so much harder to get a hit stick with somebody with enforcer than to armbar somebody with armbar.
Yeah, because you go R bar anybody. The enforcer
So
got to
like,
find that one person, not get blocked, and hit stick them.
if that's the case, then like that, I feel like enforcer should honestly be like 15, 20 cap.
No, but I said this last year. I said defensive players, you have 11 of them. They don't make not one player on defense makes an impact every single play.
No.
With offense, you have one player that makes an impact every single play. If you're running the ball, majority of the time it's the running back. If you're passing the ball, it's the quarterback.
Yeah,
So
100%. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the cap numbers on the players should be adjusted, and I mean, I guess y'all kind of get me thinking. Damn, maybe I do need some cap on my defense. But like I said, it's only 2 players I can add to the defense that I have that could help me. I guess I
But
need it.
that would make it like significantly
yeah,
better.
that would yeah.
All right,
Because you see,
time to
like
sell boat.
The Texans defense in regs, like this is for example, like the Texans defense in regs without Clowney, they're like the worst defense, like literally the worst defense in the game. And then with Clowney, it makes them like one of the better defenses just because of that one player that can tackle fucking Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Well, I'm gonna go get this Patrick Willis. I'm gonna have to go spend some more money, but I'm gonna get this Patrick Willis because I'm not selling Bo because I need to play weekend league. I need to run some people over.
Can we talk about run stopper too? Like that chem is fucking doesn't even
Who can get
work
it? Who can get
either.
it?
Well,
John
no,
Henderson.
oh well, the chem definitely works, but like if you run a stretch, it's not gonna activate. Like it depends where you put him.
All
No,
right,
When
it
I was
so
doesn't
playing
work
against
at
the
DT
Saints,
either.
all right, so if
the
I put him at D
Cameron Jordan was
tackle,
definitely shedding me on dives.
all right. If
That's
I
why.
put D tackle, if I put my D
Well, it
tackle
might.
at run stopper, I should be able to stop dive every rip. Does that not work?
Oh, no, he's gonna shed, and then you're gonna outrun him because he's 60
No,
speed.
I use that shit in mud. Didn't work in mud. So
Jesus.
I don't know. It might work in regs, but not
And
in
Regs,
mud.
I know Cameron. Well, it didn't like he didn't shed me every play, but like he did shed me more often than he would if he didn't have that. I don't think it was OP like the other ones. So I guess you could say it doesn't work as
Yeah,
well
it's
as
like
it should be.
25 cap though. Like that's
Yeah,
something
like that.
they make
That's
no
25 cap.
sense.
That's outrageous. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the cap. They either A should just raise the cap like a significant amount,
Or
or
adjust all
B
this shit.
or just B adjust everything and raise the cap a little bit. But like the worst option they can possibly do, especially if we got to play 775 cap in 2 months or in a month and a half, whenever we have to play the Club Series leaderboards. I mean, not
Mm.
the tournament. If it's 775 right then, it's going to be even worse because
I,
there'll probably be a better running back, or there'll be better players that people are going to have out there, and you're just going to be handicapped because you're going to have to use them, and then you're not going to be able to stop them.
now I know we can agree on this. No matter what they do, it has to happen soon, right? It
Oh, for
seems like
sure.
in the past, it seems like this is going to be
It
something
needs
that
to happen before like at least 2 weeks
2 weeks
before
at the
Yeah.
furthest, really,
yeah.
because and we know in the past it's been all right. Here's 5 days before. Let's raise the cap to 1100. You know, and I know you guys feel the hardest part of the game is just figuring out a lineup and settling on a lineup. Really, that's the shit that keeps you up all night. Honestly, you're never like this is it. I'm cool until
Yeah.
it's 2 seconds before you gotta turn the shit in. Really, and for me, I think it just whatever they decide to do needs to be decided right away. Honestly, and that's not
Yeah, they
even
definitely because
soon.
we
I
need to
don't
know whether we're gonna be having to fight with fucking silvers and golds out there, or we're gonna have a better team. Like I feel like they should tell us that like 3 weeks before the leaderboards ends.
Yeah,
To be honest.
well,
yeah,
we'll
but I
see.
also don't want them to rush the decision either. Like I don't want them fucking be like, fuck it, we're not raising the cap.
Yeah.
Go play versus fucking 92 speed bow or whatever. Like
Yeah, and then you just have no chance. Like
Yeah, well, also you got to take into account maybe it's some new cars that's gonna come out this weekend. Maybe it's another linebacker. Maybe they just hold my man Dawkins. He can't get enforcer. Maybe they'll come out with Deshaun. Maybe Deshaun Taylor comes out this week. You know, the man
But
tell me.
even if they come out with him, he's still going to be way too much cap to where you're going to want to equip Enforcer because like there's going to be some games where like you don't get a fumble or somebody just sees you and they just get down. There could be some games where Enforcer doesn't play a part at all, but there's never going to be a game where Bruiser doesn't come into fact. Like Bruiser, like if you have something on a running back, that's going to always take a part of the game. Something on defense, since you have 11 of the guys, is not always going to matter in a game. So like Either the cap needs to just
or
be
someone's
raised.
passing the ball. Enforcer's not really gonna.
No, you tripping. These Mutt kids, man, they put Tillman out there in the flat zone. You cannot throw that side of the field, dude. It's over. No drag, no 10-yard curl, no out route,
Or
no
you could
corner
just
route.
throw any corner out and it gets over a cloud anyways. So
Okay, Pat Tillman runs and boom, boom. His
Your
sticks
ass,
from
Dubby.
behind.
and
Boom.
you see, there it is. That's why they
Dubby,
put.
you're getting
That's why you
boxed
need
by
the
fucking
X.
Tillman in a cloud.
Tillman in
by
the
these
cloud
Mutt
is
kids?
a glitch. Try to throw a flat
well-
route on Tillman in the cloud. You got
Hey,
possession.
Dub, I
Tillman.
gotta go. So I mean, hopefully they do listen to this shit and raise the cap. But they
No,
don't.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean,
They
we'll see
don't.
what
We're
happens.
gonna have a lot of fun playing against Bo.
I'm gonna get Bo too if that's the case. But yeah, I appreciate y'all
Need
coming
it.
on, man. Like, hey, Kiv, man, will
good?
you still in the bunch, drinking the punch?
Fuck no, I have a 10 cap quarterback right now.
Oh my God, stop lying, bro.
I
If
play the
you
game
had,
how it's supposed to be played,
no,
Dubby.
you never do. You're not that person. If you get a 10 cap quarterback, I'm done. I'm not Madden. I'm waiting. Catch me next
We'll
August.
see, bro. If the cap's still the same, look at me with fucking power up Tom Brady.
Power Brady. I mean, I can never play like that. I don't know why, and I always feel like
That shit is boring. Honestly, like, you know why it's so hard for me to play like that? It's so boring.
yeah, it's just yeah, and I don't know. It's just
You just lose respect for yourself. You know.
yeah,
what
but
I
I
mean?
know you probably had this feeling like, damn, I'm playing the game the wrong way. Maybe I'm a
Well,
dickhead.
oh yeah, definitely.
And I feel like I've been
Especially
saying
after
that for
the
3
tournament,
years,
I was like,
Why I'm doing all this hard shit, trying to confuse,
Yeah.
trying to figure out defense,
game's
trying to put the
fucking
right
hard
routes
as
out
shit.
here.
Byron Jones on one side, fucking. But then I could just fucking call sweep every play with Zeke. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that sweep with Duke Johnson and Damian Williams ain't the same. You know,
That's
fucking
fact.
popping. You getting cool too. You getting them cool too. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do. I mean,
They just needed to counter the meta. That's it.
I'll be
Like
cool.
the meta on this game is running. Figure out the best way to counter that.
More cap for Bo.
More cap for Bo. Fucking more cap for Bruiser.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. Because the running backs aren't very good without the abilities.
Hell no. They
Once
juke
get
slow.
the
They
abilities,
spin ass.
You can click on and make the tackle with pretty much everyone on defense.
Yeah.
But once they get them abilities, bro, you're playing Jesus Christ himself running the ball.
Lord. Yeah, it is like that shit, man. But oh well.
You better play some SC?
I don't want to play this shit. Y'all got me afraid as fucking play some SC. I'm gonna be honest.
Nah, go play some.
Run
Get
some,
that bow in your life.
Get some Bo. And listen, I'll tell you what. I think Shazier is a monster. I think he's an animal. I really do. I mean, y'all think he sucks because he don't have abilities, but Shazier is tough for me.
Shazier is getting fucking arm barred, bro, every time.
I'm putting this team out here, and we're gonna see what they do.
All right, I'm out.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming by.
Yep, thanks for having me on. Peace.
There he is, the Kiv Man and Joke Man, two the best man players in the world. Me personally, I was definitely on the don't raise the cap, and I'm probably still on that. Cause I don't know, I don't need any offense I don't need any cap on my offense. I don't, or any more abilities. I don't need abilities on offense. I feel like people that need abilities on offense are the biggest ones that want the cap because they defense sucks. And I will tell you right now, Chad, if this defense sucks, then the game sucks. If I can't put this defense out here, then the game is ass. I will tell you that right here. Oh, damn, I'm not even, I can't even see it no more. Where's my Discord? There it is. Okay, yeah, if I put this defense out with Shazier and Willis and Ken Houston and Dawkins and Tillman and Blunt, honestly, if this defense and Fletcher Cox and it's a baby Clowney and a baby Mac, but if this defense can't hang, seriously, honestly, if this defense can't hang, then the game is ass. As long as we can agree on that. I just want to agree on that. That's all. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying this team will do anything. I'm not saying that this team is any good. It's going to work. I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm saying that we can agree that if this lineup isn't good enough, the game is ass. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how I feel. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys it's going to work. Now, what I am going to do, as far as salary cap, I wanted to break down my team, how I set it up on my sub stream on Wednesday tomorrow night. After that, I'm gonna grind the hell out of salary cap for sure. I was talking to Wesley about this earlier in the chat about when do people watch more MUT, do people watch more salary cap. Now, we'll be honest with this, and most of the people that are here that listen to podcasts, we more competitive people, right, chat? Like that's more of the vibe. And obviously, you guys want to watch salary cap because honestly, just because you'll probably play better people, you know. Because I most of y'all don't really want to watch me, and Mo, I kind of agree with that. And me, like I said, but part of me, one, there's a lot more viewership in MUT, you know. And for me, honestly, all dumb shit aside, I want to play with my team. I done spent a lot of damn money and a lot of time on my team. I want to play with Brian Dawkins. I want to play with Michael Vick and Bo Jackson. Like as a fun thing to do, I want to play with this team. Like that. Yes, I don't want to go out here and have Brandon King and Clea in these 10 caps. I want to play with Willis and Burns, and I want to play with these guys. You know, that's part of the reason why, damn, I wish I could play MUT all day, you know, and play against better people. But for me, that's why it's like, people ask me when I want to play salary cap, bro. And you know what I think to myself? Bro, I don't really want to bench. I don't really want to get rid of all my abilities. I don't want to get rid of this. I don't want to play without Bo and McCoy and all my, I want to play MUT. You know, I spent a lot of time, a lot of money on this damn team, you know, and for me, I kind of want to use it. So that's kind of why I really want to play MUT personally. And honestly, I could see if I had some. I mean, listen, both of the guys we talked to, Joke and Kib, are going to have abilities on offense. They're going to have Joke, the way he was playing, he going to have Bo. So of course his defense is going to be ass. I feel like my little salary cap defense could fight. I honestly think they could fight. You know. That's how I feel. But, you know, I will definitely play salary cap probably this week. Definitely. Once it starts salary cap, that's pretty much what it's going to be. And part of me feels like I don't want to get rid of this team. I don't want to get rid of my MUT team. I don't want to stop playing with them. And I feel like as soon as I start playing salary cap, that's all it's going to be. You know, and the same thing happened last year. I go spend thousands of dollars the first month, get this bomb squad, one of the best teams in the game. Now I'm playing salary cap, and it's pretty much like I wasted all that. And you kind of feel like that. So for me, it's like, damn, I still want to keep playing MUT. But to me, we'll figure it out. But one thing about as far as Weekend League and as far as Twitch and what you guys watching, then we could talk about this weekend. Because I know a lot of you guys were here this weekend. On MUT, on Twitch, on everything. And this weekend, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen on Twitch, which I'll preface all this by saying all this is amazing for Twitch. It is amazing for anybody that put content on Twitch. It's amazing for anybody that tries to stream, anybody, small streamer, big streamer. All this stuff is good for us. 1,000%, all of it. It helps everybody. It helps, like, say if Tfue did stream MUT, right? Then of his 30,000 people that might have watched him play MUT, maybe 5,000 followed the actual game of Madden. Because I don't know if you guys know, but you can follow actual games on Twitch. Like, you can go follow Madden 20, right? Literally just the game. So every time they go click and look on their browser, they can go, Madden, oh, look at all these guys streaming Madden. So if Tfue got another 5,000 people to follow Madden, that directly helps me. You know, as much as I wasn't a part of any of this stuff, it still helps me. It's hard to see that, and I'll tell you guys this whole weekend is kind of sick for me, for all this stuff popping on Twitch and to not be a part of it. It already was. Last year was sick with all the tournaments popping and not being a part of that, and then not being a part of everything this weekend popping on Twitch, not being a part of that. It is a little discouraging, but ultimately I have to remember that it all helps all of us on Twitch. But as far as the 140K, that's pretty crazy. You know, that's a lot of money, but it's peanuts for Tfue though. It really is like beyond peanuts. That's like probably us turning down $1,400. You know, and for me that would be, I would love to pay if Mortal Kombat came and said I'll pay you $1,400 today to stream Mortal Kombat. I would stream the shit out of Mortal Kombat, really. You know, but that's so. And one thing that I realized, man, EA putting a lot more effort into Twitch. They realize how big Twitch is, what it did for Ninja. Obviously, Ninja's one of the biggest celebrities in America, honestly. So for that, I don't have the bounties. And for me, it's like EA is realizing how big of a tool Twitch is. I think this is they're putting more effort into Twitch. Over the last couple of years, it hasn't been the same effort. But even, and I've told them before, is that, man, if y'all just do that show every morning, that helps all of us, you know. And like, once again, it's never going to help me. It's never going to be my host. They're never going to give me drops. I have my own drops. They activated now, man. Just follow me on social media. You can get drops too. I have 3 silvers for you and maybe a gold if you're lucky. But none of this stuff will directly help me. But it will indirectly, because if someone's watching EA, you know, EA stream 5,000, 8,000 people in the morning, bang, they just put out the new legend. Oh, let me go see somebody play with it, and maybe they'll look in Madden 20 and they'll see Dubby. So it all helps me indirectly. But yeah, so I'm excited about all the effort that EA is putting into Twitch. It's good. It makes, even not only for me, but for the other streamers, all these guys in here that do any type of content on Twitch, it is a good thing, man. You have to remember that even if it's not coming your way, it's always a good thing, you know. So for me, that's how that goes. But now, chat, I want you guys to check in. Who is your NFL team and how did you do this weekend? That's what I want to know, because the Eagles, I was getting trolled, and Drenny was the main one that was trolling me on Twitter about the Eagles. You know, let me know what your team did, because, you know, it was looking rough for the Eagles. It was looking rough. But then we popped it, and we popped that shit in the second half. The Raiders are 1-0. The Broncos definitely laid down. You know, the Bucks are ass. Saints definitely came back. I'm going to talk about the Saints game. This is, if you guys remember the podcast last year, this is the first one in NFL season. This is a segment that I came up with. It's called What Would a Madden Player Do? And it's just little instances in NFL games where I say, damn, I would be better than their coaching staff. That's how I feel. I would be better than, if they had me on their sideline, they would be better off. And I legitimately feel that way in certain instances throughout games of football. And never more before than the Saints versus the Texans, man. So let me know what you guys do. Giants fan, Jesus, that's rough. But this, and his squad is in the chat, YouTube. But YouTube, let me know what your team is and what's going on. And I say Giants fan is rough right now, right? But the Giants have been up. The Giants have won 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime. They've been a good team even without winning 2 Super Bowls. They've had playoff runs without winning. They've had playoff runs. They've been a relevant team. You can be proud to be a Giants fan in the last 20 years. There are teams that have had none of that. Like, literally have been shit for my whole lifetime. How is that possible? The Dolphins have literally been shit my entire life. They had Jay Fiedler and Lamar. What the hell was his name? The running back. It was Jay Fiedler and I think his name was Lamar. Lamar Smith? I don't remember. But seriously, literally have been shit my whole lifetime. No, the Jets. They bring up the Jets in the chat. The Jets have had. They went to AFC Championship games. I'm talking about this. The Dolphins haven't had anything. Now, it wasn't Lamar Miller. It was before that. I'm saying that's how. No, it was before Ronnie Brown. Lamar, I swear it was Lamar Smith with Jay Fiedler. I'm talking about like 1999, 2000, before Ricky Williams. Yeah, I'm starting to realize you guys are younger than me. Like, I feel young. They had a run. His name, I want to say his name was Lamar Smith. I swear to God. I really do. But it's obviously not Ricky Williams. Like, do you guys think I would forget like Ricky Williams? Lamar Smith, top. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking about like 2001, 2002. Like, and honestly, I think about the Dolphins. The Browns have been better than the Dolphins in the last 20 years because the Browns had that 1 year with Kyle Anderson and Braylon Edwards and Kellen Winslow. Remember that year where they were actually kind of good? No, the Dolphins have never had a year. The Bills, my whole life, have been ass. The Bills, and this is why the Patriots are amazing, right? They automatically get home field advantage every goddamn year because they shit division. The Dolphins and Bills, and we just get ignored at how goddamn bad these two teams have been for 20 plus years. 20 plus years. I saw the Lions win a playoff game. No, I saw the Lions win a playoff game. Tell me when the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game. Seriously. Yeah, no, actually, the Dolphins be popping the Patriots on the low. Yeah, the Bills made the playoffs last year. They snuck into the playoffs. They were halfway. So the Bills aren't as bad as the Dolphins. Yeah, the Bills went to 4 Super Bowls. I'm talking when I was 2 and 3 years old. All right, let's relax with that. I'm talking about 20 years. Yeah. So for me, the Bills and the Dolphins. Who else? Super ass. Just think about super. The Bengals are creeping up. They haven't been super ass, but they've been irrelevant. They've been goddamn irrelevant. They had their little we could win. Carson Palmer, Chad Johnson, we could win. They've been pretty damn irrelevant. And the Redskins have been pretty ass for the last 20 years, chat. Yeah, well, the Raiders made a Super Bowl in my lifetime, so I mean, Texans haven't been around my whole lifetime, though. I did see the Raiders go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, the Raiders have been ass. But that's my point. Anyway, back to what I'm talking about. I'm proud to be an Eagles fan because the Eagles, obviously, they won the one Super Bowl. Whoop-de-woo. But in my 20 years of my life, probably since Jeffrey Lurie has owned the team, the Eagles have been competitive. Signing free agents, winning football games, making playoff runs, not necessarily winning, choking a lot, laying down a lot, but they've been, every year that football has started, I've had hope that we would make a run in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you guys can feel the same way about your team, but I feel like that's a good thing. Like every year it's like, damn, we can make the playoffs, we can make a run. So my man Fletch with the sub, man. But let's talk about this, because this is one that I really made me upset. And this was last night. This was the Saints and the Texans. Without a doubt, was the game of the year, right, chat? I mean, we're not going to we're not even going to bring up the fact that, I mean, this was the game of the year so far. It's only been 2 games, shoot. But this was an amazing game. Probably, I will tell you one of my takeaways from this game. Deshaun Watson is unreal. Hopkins is unreal, and Kamara and Michael Thomas. So we just talked about abilities and salary cap, and it feels like Kamara, Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson, these dudes have abilities. You know, like, yes, they have abilities. The Saints defense, I hope most of you guys saw this game. If you haven't, it's one to check back and watch. What we're going to have here, let me see the one.
They are back and forth. Watson, Breeze, Hopkins, here they go for more. Taken down that time.
I didn't see all this. Now, let me see. All right. Essentially, that was a big dot. Running the clock out. That's the 2-minute warning. So they're going to run the ball here. Hit squad with the sub. Yeah, Hopkins is really good. Run here. Play it safe. Get into field goal range. The Texans use no time. Now, that's interesting. Now, they're not going to show me all these plays. I wish there was a site where I could see all these plays. Because right here is like, you get a first down, right? The Texans have 3 timeouts. They can get the ball back if you just run, get in the field goal range. Now, this is questionable. A Madden player might have tried to pass and get a first down to end the game. But with the Saints, with a Hall of Fame quarterback, probably top 5 quarterback of all time, decided to run the ball and just get back into field goal range, right? We're going to run the ball, get back into field goal range, and then from there, we're going to go up 6 points, right? And that's all they do. You see, 1st and 10. Oh, 1st and 10 actually got a first down. So that feels like it's and one Madden player move I'll tell you guys about in this situation, 1st and 10, they have 3 timeouts, right? 1:55 left on the clock. A Madden player, this is like second level move, is to not get the first down when you break a run like this. The best case scenario for the Saints in this situation would be Kamara getting 9 yards, making it 2nd and 1. That way you run 40 seconds off the clock and you have 3 plays pretty much to get a first down. But the fact Kamara went here and got the first down gave Houston, Texas a chance to get the ball back. Now, obviously, one, we always got to remember that Kamara doesn't see this yellow line. 2, more often than not, with this first down, pretty much seals the game regardless. But he gets this first down here past the line. Had he got tackled here at the 35, game would have the Texans would have never got the ball back. But because he got tackled there, they start using their timeouts. Eventually get to a 3rd down, and they just run the ball straight ahead, get in the field goal range. Boom. They used their last timeout. I guess the Saints brought this all the way down and called timeout. So they have a 47-yarder. I was thinking to myself, man, if he misses this, Houston's going to tie the game up. So he goes ahead and makes this field goal. Yeah, but at that point in the game, and Dirk says in the chat, at that point, he said, you can't say go down because Kamara could have ran by those 2 people. At this point in the game, scoring a touchdown isn't that big a deal. Scoring a touchdown at this situation isn't. I mean, obviously, probably even more end the game, but you could end the game just as easy. Go ahead running right here and getting tackled right there ends the game. Really. So for me, that's like second level to fall down, make it a second. A 2nd and 1 is always a great situation in football. And so here we go. Now you're up 6. This is all, every Madden player, every football team in the world would take this situation. Up 6, Houston has no timeouts, 50 seconds on the clock, starting a drive at their own 25. Me, myself, right here, I am in pre-fucking vent, right? And they say prevent stops you from winning. That's when you do dumb shit. When I say prevent, I mean nobody's getting near the sideline. Nobody's getting anywhere. No, if you want to dump it off and get 15 yards in the middle, go ahead. And what the Saints do here, one, we already have 6 people. I really don't remember. They only rush 4, which is cool. I believe it's just cover 2, but this throw was absolutely ridiculous. How does this guy get behind us here? This guy right here is Hall of Fame. This guy is top 10 wide receiver in the future of all time. Shit, he might be top 10 right now. He might be around 10 all time. Why not? For me, it's like, how does this guy get behind you? If he catches an out route, if he catches a hitch or a post, it's DeAndre Hopkins. You're not going to do much. The number one thing you can't do is let him get behind you. But I will tell you, this throw and this catch is unreal. And this is another thing to me. Hopkins just palms this fucking ball. Like, I would drop the hell out of this just rolling around on the ground. That's tough to me. Now, here we go. Next, damn, we just got dotted, right? So, now let's go out here. Look at this shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Everybody. Chet, this team needs a touchdown to beat you. A touchdown. Not a field goal, not 5 more yards. They need a touchdown. Whether it's Madden, whether it's real life, it's tough to score fucking touchdowns. You see they probably had 7 possessions. They only have 3 touchdowns. Now they have no timeouts. It's tough to throw the ball to the middle of the field. They have an all-world wide receiver that you're leaving one-on-one right here. I don't care if you have Marshawn Lattimore, Jalen Ramsey. In this situation, we're not leaving any one-on-ones. That's not happening. And even though you have Marshawn Lattimore, who's a stud, who the hell are these guys? I couldn't even tell you. And we're going to go, this guy's probably manned on here, man. I honestly, I really don't know what the hell they did here. And they blitz. They get some good pressure because Duke Johnson shit the bed. Honestly, I feel like they didn't even blitz that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people. It gets some pressure, and this is another just outrageous throw. Just boom, touchdown. But to give up a touchdown, they got the ball with 50 seconds left. How much time did they have? 50 seconds. 50 seconds on the clock. 50 seconds on. All right, the Mutt Bum defense mid blitz is hell in real life. All right, let's not. And they scored with how much time left? 41. They scored in 12 seconds. In 13. All right, they scored in 13 seconds. I can take me and 10 of you YouTubers that are watching this right now, and we not let them score in 12 seconds. Unless they run a screen and we got to try to tackle DeAndre Hopkins. But I promise you, there is no situation in Madden, if I'm coaching a real team, we will never give up a touchdown in 12 seconds. And it's not even like they just got juked or they got stiff-armed or ran over. They just got, it was just dumbass defense. So we go mid-blitz. Oh, no, this is the cover 3 dropout blitz. You know where they drop out, this guy blitzes, you think these guys come, but then the nickel back comes. Cameron Jordan is in cut. Oh, Lord. Cameron Jordan, our superstar pass rusher, is now in coverage on the tight end. But where is this guy going? You know, it's clearly some type of man coverage here. But this is your middle safety guy. You have DeAndre Hopkins, who, yes, double him, please. He's probably just going to double DeAndre. But then, what are we, I guess we are worried about our superstar left end covering the tight end in coverage. Jesus. That's just a nice throw, man. They just dotted the hell out of that defense. Yeah, that was bad. Then this asshole misses the extra point. Now, I'll be honest. Unfortunate. Can't blame the superstar corner who just dove. You gotta try to block the kick. That's your only chance of winning. They definitely ran 4 verts with a drag. I'm telling you, Houston was playing Mutt right there, playing Madden. You gotta try to block the kick. If I was a Saints fan, I would be upset that this happened, but I feel like you gotta call it right there. You gotta call this, man. He definitely landed on his foot. Can we just we all agree that wasn't a bad call, and it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that was whatchamacallit? It was a good call. Now this is okay. Now what? Let's start this drive because this is why this is the Texans are the worst. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means there's another guy back here, or maybe he's over here. But they're going with a 3-man rush. This guy, for me, they have 1 timeout. This is a little bit tougher, this situation, because you have Breeze. I'm thinking to myself, 2 Kamara throws, because Kamara can get open, get out of bounds, and get 8 yards in 2 plays pretty easily. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking to myself, man, I might put 2 people on Kamara. You know, but what they do, they rush 3. I believe we're just playing man. I don't know what this. Yeah, man, and 2, probably 3 safeties at this point, because you got 1 extra guy. This guy's manned. We get dotted. Okay. Now, they didn't call timeout. They spiked the ball. Now, this was interesting to me. I was cool with the spike there. After this next pass, I probably would have called my timeout, though. Come here, same thing, just man covers, 3-man deep. Michael Thomas gets open again. I don't know who this is. Was it Michael Thomas? I would have called my timeout here. I'm 1,000%. I would have called my timeout here. Had the ball 50-yard line, 14 seconds left with no timeouts. Yes, I'm going to call a timeout here. That's what I would have done. Now, they're going to hurry up and get this off pretty fast. Now, Madden, I don't know what the time situation would be here. But they actually get to the line fairly fast. Spike the ball. Okay. This shit is unreal. Like, this is unreal bad. I would be livid if this happened to my team. Absolutely livid. Look at this defense. First of all, now I'll be honest, the Texans not having no timeouts hurt them here because, bro, let's see right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 2 players. Where are we at? The 50-yard line. That's just 25 yards. Okay. Now, what happens here is these guys got to know, man, they're not trying to score a touchdown, right? Seriously, they're not trying to score a touchdown. Listen, by them they're not trying to score a touchdown. There's no way they go for a touchdown here. There's no way. Breeze's whole goal is to get 10 yards. Whether he gets out of bounds, and because they still have the timeout, he's going to throw something fast, fall down, and call timeout. That's 1,000% what is going to happen. So why would we be here? What are these three guys essentially going to do? What are they going to do? Now, this is what... Okay, so me personally, this is where Fagd, which... I don't know. Fagd isn't in Madden anymore, but it used to be, where you drop all these guys. What is J.J. Watt and this guy going to do on this play? Put them in purple zones, put 2 yellow zones, man under. Your 3 deep safeties should be, your 3 safeties can be right here, right? I don't care about the 3 safeties. But I'll tell you what, if my fat ass is a corner and I have the safety 30 yards behind me, I'm punching you in the face. Because what the hell's going to happen? Okay, yeah, I'll play 10 yards off if I don't have anybody behind me. But if you're 30 yards off, I'm not playing 10 yards off. Like this is Usain Bolt. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's just rough. But like I said, what are these two guys going to do? If you dropped all these guys in coverage, if you put J.J. Watt and said, go drop out here to the flat, put these 2 linebackers in yellow zones, put another flat... Like, what's going to happen? You know Breeze is not stupid. Breeze knows there's only 6 seconds on the clock. He knows he has to throw the ball. And essentially what would happen is it would turn into a scramble play, right? That's all that would happen. So for me, this is a situation where I would practice a defense where literally J.J. Watt and this guy, take these guys off the field. Well, maybe not take J.J. Watt off the field. He's a monster. Right? But my point is, they don't need to rush the passer. Let's think about what would happen if these two guys didn't rush the passer. Drew Brees would have nobody to throw to, and he would just sit back there, and it would just become some wild-ass scramble drill for the end of the game. Do we all agree that's what would happen? What are the other options? So that's what I would implement, some type of defense where we don't rush the quarterback, where all 11 people are in coverage. And like I said, the safeties are unreeled back, but that doesn't matter. But these guys up here aren't doing bad. Look, his back is turned. Where the hell do you think these guys are going? Where do you think they're going? You think they're running a streak? Like, for me, do you really think there's a streak coming from these wide receivers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe they all stop. They all, and look, this one, it's not the coin. It's 1,000% on the coaches, man. This is just unreal. Now, you guys say, and a lot of people say, don't touch him, right? I don't know, I'm not an NFL rep, but I believe you can fall on the ground and call timeout. Just like in Madden, when you can fall on the ground, you can call timeout. That's how I feel like you can give yourself up. That's what I feel like you can give yourself up. Fall on the ground in fetal position. He would have fell and they would have called timeout. First of all, you're in New Orleans, right? You're the coach. Sean Payton's not stupid. He's in your ear. If I fall on the ground, I want a timeout right away. And for me, that's what I'm saying. But at that point, by letting him catch the ball, yeah, but at the same time, as a football player, you think I don't want to get him any closer. I don't want to get him any closer to the field goal range. Because, let's be honest, it was still a far field goal. It wasn't like it was a 38-yard field goal after that, He could have balled up and they could have called timeout. Yeah, you are right. He did kind of fall down naturally. I think it's too far. Let's see. No, he dead ass just kind of fell down. I think they would have gave him the timeout. I really do. Look how he fell down. Like, that was like just fall on his ass. Yeah. Yeah, so, but at the same time, when you're talking about the kicker, it's like, I don't want him to roll forward for any more yards. You know, and then it's a 58-yard field goal. It's a far field goal still, man. Yeah, for me, that's definitely my man Nick in the chat. Thanks for the bits. I appreciate you. Oh, that was just rough defense, man. And it's pretty much just these two dudes, because I don't think they could have thrown. I was thinking, grab him. Like, say he hits one of these receivers, you can grab him and almost carry him towards the end zone to let the 2 seconds go off. Like, if you get a hold of somebody, just hold them up. Because if you hold them up and you don't give them forward progress, then they'll blow the whistle. But if you hold him up and actually drag him towards your end zone, like to the right here, to the score, I don't think they can blow the whistle dead. You know, but because this asshole is goddamn, for some reason. Oh, what's crazy about this chat? This is how the Saints should have played defense back here. This is how the Saints should have played defense when this dumb shit was happening. Literally, they needed to reverse their calls. 100% needed to reverse the calls. I would have never called this fucking... Oh, Lord. They just got seam streak for the game. But how the Texans played defense with 1 second left is how the Saints should have played defense when they were up a touchdown. Just completely... And it just shows you the game's completely different when you're up a touchdown and when you're up 3. It's a completely different situation, man. And that had me pissed off for being a Texans fan. I don't know if any of you guys are Texans fans. I don't know a Texans fan in the whole world. I don't know if you guys know Texans fans. They definitely put Cam Jordan, a run stuffer, edge specialist, power specialist, into a 3-rec for the game. Listen, honestly, I think every NFL team should have some type of Madden player. Just not really being a coach, but a consultant for sure. And I will tell you, I think the Eagles are very good at it. If you guys watch the Eagles game, the Eagles were winning 21-20 in the fourth quarter. Let's bring that up. That's another one we can talk about a little bit. Not as drastically bad as that. Let's see if they have this game. Yeah, we do have this game. I'll show you something that the Eagles did that I loved as a Madden player. You know, I don't know if you guys watched the game. Something that Madden players really don't do anymore that much, but was definitely a tactic that we see in Madden way more than we see in real football. And as you saw the Eagles, man, it was getting rough early in the game. I didn't see this play. I was walking in from the tournament. Oh, we were just getting dotted, huh? All right, but what happens is once the Eagles start flooding, that's what the Eagles start flooding. This is the drive. 21, as we get an ad. It's 21-20. The Eagles have all the momentum. They were losing 17-0, and they were losing 20-7. They have all the momentum. Carson, I believe, was 11 for 12 on third down. We see Miles Sanders here bouncing it outside a little bit, picking up a nice 7 yards. Big play. Just taking time off the clock. Carson dotting. Zach Ertz actually juked somebody right there. First time ever. But anyway, they get to a position where they're going to score. You know, and boom, they throw this little screen pass over here to Alshon. Touchdown Eagles. Okay, boom. Now, if they score if they kick the extra point, they'll be up 8 points. That's still a 1-possession game. So what Doug Peterson says is I'm going to go ahead and go for 2. So if I go up 29-20, that means the Redskins are going to need 2 possessions to score. You know, it's going to change the game that much more. And the Eagles go for 2, and Darren Sproles' old fat ass wobbles, weebles, and gets in the end zone. So what that does, it puts the Eagles up 29-20. That makes it a 2-possession game. One of the biggest things it also does, as we see here, 3rd and 15 for the Redskins, nowhere to go, dump it off, tackle them, boom. They punt the ball. Now, what that does for the Eagles is, as they get the ball right here with 11 and 20 seconds left, I don't really want to tell y'all how great Carson Wentz is. I just want y'all to watch this play. We're going to spin out. We're going to roll to our left. We're going to square our shoulders up, and we're going to fire a missile over here to Zach Ertz on 3rd and 15. No big deal. But you see the clock. And because the Eagles are up 9 now, stay in bounds, got it, boom. You see the clock. Miles Sanders. Another big run. You see the clock. 6 minutes. Carson once again rolling out, hitting somebody on 3rd and 7. Now, you see the clock. Another big run. I think we got a holding on this run, though. Miles Sanders. We got to hold it. All right, so my whole point is that the Eagles go ahead and take some time off the clock. Jordan Howard, I need him to fight for me, get in the end zone there. But this drive started with 11 minutes on the clock. Did it not? Am I tripping? Yeah, it started with 11 minutes, and now we're all the way down here. 2 minutes left. And because the Eagles are up 9 points, when they go ahead and third goal, they check it off. Sproles' old ass should have stayed in bounds. They kick a field goal, and because they went for 2, the field goal puts them up 12 points. What that means is the Redskins can no longer kick a field goal. Now, obviously, with 3 minutes left, it doesn't matter that much. But because you're up 12, you can't kick a field goal because it doesn't help you at all. Because if you kick a field goal, you'll still be down 9. Just shows how going for 2 right there in that situation can change the whole game. Help the Eagles win the game, really distance themselves. And I think, honestly, as far as little things like that, I really feel like the situations like that, the Eagles are the best at, really. And Chow said, I don't think going for 2 up 7 is right. Unless they really only had, in the fourth quarter, you understand the game is short. Especially all the momentum the Eagles had in that second half, man. I felt like that 2-point conversion really was the dagger. If they didn't get it, they're still up 7. Worst case scenario, Redskins go down the field, tie it. The game is tied. You get the ball back pretty much with the last drive. All right, Chow? So you get to the point where, okay, say the Eagles had not got that 2-point conversion. Would have sucked. They would have only been up 7 points. But, okay, the Redskins go down the field. There's 12 minutes left in the game. The Redskins go down the field, score a touchdown. God willing, it wasn't a one-play touchdown. Let's say they take 4 minutes off the clock. Now you're getting the ball back with 8 minutes and with a game-winning drive. We just saw the Eagles take off 8 minutes and score a field goal. They would have to do a similar thing to win the game. And so I think other situation, it was a great. The reward was way bigger than the risk in that situation, man. That's pretty much how I feel about going for 2 in that situation. The reward was way bigger than the risk. You know, because we can agree the reward of that, the game's over. The risk of that is we're only up 7. Worst case scenario, we have a game-winning drive. That was the risk. Worst case scenario is we have a game-winning drive when we haven't got stopped at all in the second half. Best case scenario, the game's over. So I think when you do situations like that, not only in Madden real life, you have to weigh the risk and the reward of the situation, honestly. Any sleeper team's going to come out in regs in the first few weeks. What does that mean? His squad, like what teams in regs can be good with updates? Antonio Brown going to Patriots is kind of a lateral move because Tom Brady could already do all the hot routes. If he would have went to another team, say the Packers or the Browns or the Jets, even back to the Steelers, would have made some other teams that much better. You know, that's all. My man Big Chris with the sub, man. The Jets, I didn't watch the Jets. I don't care to watch for the Jets. The Jets and the Bills, I'm so glad I didn't see any of that game. Not really my cup of tea. I was at the Eagles game. We had a Madden tournament to start the Eagles game, man. From 10 a.m. to Eagles kickoff, we had a Madden tournament outside of the stadium. We gave away $1,000, man. So you guys, if you're in Philly, if you're an Eagles fan, if you're close to Philly, Joke came out. Little man was there. It's $1,000, $20 entry before every Eagles game. So I was able to go to the Eagles game, go to the tailgate, have a good time. My forehead is still sunburnt from being out in that sun, man. So we had a great time for that. Gares actually won, Chow, running Lamar Jackson. That's when I realized you guys made a shitty game when Gares came back and popped little man running with Lamar Jackson. Lamar looked good. The one thing about a mobile quarterback, this goes to Vic, it even goes to even Culpepper, McNabb, any quarterback that can run, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, when you have that threat of running the ball, right, then what it does is it kills the pass rush. The pass rush, Because if you're rushing Tom Brady, right, you can close your eyes and say, let me beat this guy in front of me. I'm just going to swim move him. Tom Brady's going to be right here every time. But when you have a Vic or Lamar Jackson, you have to rush them with your eyes on the quarterback and almost calm down. And they used to call it a mush rush. That's how you used to rush Michael Vick. Like, just stay in your contains, similar to a contain in Madden. You guys know a contain in Madden will never get to the quarterback if you don't run towards it or run away out of the pocket. If you stand there, the contains are just going to sit there on the tackles. And that's kind of how Lamar Jackson was. Every highlight I saw, all the linemen were kind of just not rushing him because they're afraid for him to run. And that's pretty much what makes it that much easier for those guys to pass. Now, they're not the best passers. They never have been the best passers, because honestly, they lived most of their life being able to run away from everybody. Now they get to the NFL where they're not going to run away from everybody. Now they have to take their time a little bit more. But it looked good. I mean, he looked good, and that's going to be a good thing. If they can just the thing about Lamar is, like, man, he don't got to be the best passer in the world. If that team's going to play defense and run the ball, he got to hit a couple dots here and there. Yeah, it's going to get tighter in the playoffs, but if he continues to improve, I believe he's 21 or 22, man. The sky's the limit for him, honestly. Well, Carson Wentz is going to win MVP. Honestly, let's be honest, though. It's going to be hard for anybody to beat Mahomes. The only way you beat Mahomes in MVP is have a better record. Mahomes is going to have 45 touchdowns again, 5,000. Mahomes is an alien, man. You talk about, I don't know. You guys know, like, when somebody just wow. Like, somebody just, like DeAndre Hopkins last night, I was like, wow. Even Watson looked really good too, though, honestly. But Mahomes is just like, that's tough, man. To get 60 TDs, you gotta drop a couple 6 in there and everything. But it was cool. Week 1 was worth the wait. Excited for week 2. The Eagles have have the Falcons Sunday night, so I'm happy about that. I mean, we'll see how it works out. But yeah, this was A-Rab. What's up, man? But this was the new podcast. This was episode 46, man. We did 46 weeks, boys. We're closing in on a year. What should we do for a year? That's going to be, what? Almost a month away from the year anniversary, or the year. Episode 52. But 46 weeks of podcast, man. I appreciate you guys being in here live talking about, man. I appreciate all the support from the competitive guys that have come on and joined me. Every single Madden champion has come in and talked about their win. Had numerous guys come in and talk about different subjects in the Madden community, and that are important to us because, I mean, I feel like we need some type of platform to talk about it, honestly. But this was the new podcast 42, man. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. If you're on SoundCloud, hit that like button. If you're in the chat, hit the damn sub.